What's next for transportation energy? On today's episode, a conversation with TEI's Executive Director, John Eichberger, about the many options available for powering your car or truck.
I'm often asked the question, what are my options with regard to buying a new vehicle? And consumers are looking at ways to save money, to reduce emissions, to improve efficiency. They're just looking for their options. For so long, there was the discussion that it was EV or gas. And that became kind of a bifurcation in the discussion. But we have to keep in mind, EVs are still less than 10% of the market. They are a fantastic technology, and they work very well for a lot of use cases, a lot of people, really great option for a lot of people. But when it comes down to the mass volume of vehicles being sold, what are the options? So let's take a look. Your traditional gasoline-powered engine. Most of the country uses a blend of gasoline and ethanol, which is a agriculturally derived biofuel. It's compatible with gasoline. It's usually about 10% of the volume of the gallon of fuel you're buying. That is pretty much ubiquitous across the country. We are starting to see an increase in availability of a fuel we call E15, which takes that ethanol, that biofuel component, from 10% to 15%. The impact is it reduces emissions. It does have a slight energy delta, so the really focused people on efficiency might be looking, oh, I lose a little bit of miles per gallon, but I drive on it, and it's actually quite negligible in terms of what I realize in terms of my efficiency, but I'm also saving usually 15 to 20 cents a gallon. So that's an option. Most vehicles today being manufactured are approved for E15. Any vehicle after 2000, model year 2000, is approved by Department of Energy, Environmental Protection Agency for using E15. But you got to look at your owner's manual and see if your manufacturer is approving it. Those are your primary options for gasoline-powered vehicles. Now, gasoline-powered vehicles are also being increasingly offered in hybrid technology. About 20% of vehicles in the next year or so will likely be available in a hybrid format. And what that is, the consumer does nothing different. You buy gasoline, you drive your vehicle. But within your vehicle is a battery system that gets recharged when you slow down, when you hit your brakes. And that battery system kicks in when you're accelerating. It operates sometimes exclusively to power the vehicle at low speeds, but it improves your efficiency. The first vehicle came out in the mid-90s. The Toyota Prius debuted in the late 90s, and that's kind of the one that most people look at as the major breakthrough in hybrid technology. But hybrids are available in a wide number of models. And originally, the cost was a little bit higher than your traditional gasoline engine. Prices are much more comparative now. And the benefit is you can get a vehicle and get 50 miles per gallon, and you don't have to change behavior at all. So that's a huge opportunity for people looking for ways to reduce their emissions, improve their efficiency, reduce their cost of operating. Hybrids do raise that opportunity. In the larger truck market, you still have some vehicles available in diesel powered with diesel engines. It was pretty popular several years ago in passenger vehicles. That has kind of gone away, but you can still get your larger pickup trucks powered by diesel. And what diesel provides you is a much more efficient operation. So you're going to get more miles per gallon. You're also going to get, because it's in a truck, you're going to get a stronger work rate. You can tow more, you can carry more payload, you have an opportunity to do more work with your vehicle than you do in most gasoline powered trucks. Diesel is typically a little bit more expensive, but you also have the option of finding biodiesel, which could be a blend of diesel fuel and an agricultural based diesel blend stock of up to 20%. And that can definitely reduce the emissions profile of your operations. You also have the option to use renewable diesel, which is, again, an agricultural-based feedstock, but it's processed much more like diesel, and it's actually a drop-in fuel. So drop-in means that it doesn't need to be blended. There's no restrictions on the volume. You can use straight renewable diesel. Typically, you're going to get a renewable diesel that is 99% renewable diesel, 1% diesel. That helps provide some blending economics, but that's another option. Typically, renewable diesel is a little more expensive, but it does provide a full replacement to your diesel product, and that reduces your overall emissions profile of the fuel. There's a lot of options in the light duty space. Not as many as there are in the commercial vehicle space, just because you're dealing with a smaller vehicle. But for consumers who are interested in options, clearly you have your battery electric vehicles. More and more of them are coming on the market every year. They're fantastic technology, but they don't fit everybody's use case. They don't fit everybody's lifestyle. They don't fit every market conditions. Gasoline is still the #1 selling vehicle in the country, but you have abilities to use different fuels, or you can use a hybrid technology to offset some of your efficiency, improve your efficiency, and offset some of your emissions. So when you're looking at options for vehicles, the options are there. And you have some options on fueling and how you fuel the vehicles. So it all depends on what your individual interests are, what your budget is, what your objectives are. But I encourage people to really look at your variety of options, because it's not one or two. There are a number of options, and within those options, there are other sub-options. So it's an exciting time to be in the vehicle transportation space, because we do have a lot of choices. And the vehicle manufacturers continue to generate new choices to provide their customers with what they want. And I think we're going to see even more of that, especially in the electric vehicle space. We're going to see more vehicles come to market that are designed to fit the needs of the consumer. And I think that's going to be a very successful operation. So check out transportationenergy.org if you want more information on the different fuels and technologies out there. We're looking at this all the time, and it's a fantastic time in the market.
What's Next for Transportation Energy is a production of the Transportation Energy Institute. transportationenergy.org.